you're a rebel. There is a part of your soul that has always known you don't quite fit in a box, and yet somehow the world has told you, of course, how and who you should be as a woman. Am I right? Have you been there? You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you get me, then my name is Jen. I'm the founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness, and what I do is I help women access their supernova power to lead through purposeful alignment and legacy creation. It is my jam. And so if you're new and you don't know me really well, my background is in clinical social work. I did a really long practice in psychotherapy, very traditional setting. And then I kind of moved into healing modalities around energy healing. And now I comprise this incredible kind of mentorship experience that combines all of those favorite pieces that I've gleaned throughout the years of my career. And so today we're going to be talking about, right, that rebel spirit and that great juice that you carry, that kind of fire within. And perhaps you're in a spot where you're like, where'd that go a little bit? We're going to talk today about expansion and contraction. And my goal is to support you in feeling that you're more embodied. I'm going to explain what that means in a moment. And hopefully what those things do is it's a tool that you can utilize moving forward to really glean awareness about what is serving you and what isn't. So if you're feeling kind of stuck in this moment and you know you've got this really potent power, but maybe again, you kind of lost sight of it a little bit, let's lean into this practice and see if there's any way that that might end up being really useful to you as a tool to have down the road. So embodied, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about what is embodiment. Embodiment just means that we are bringing awareness to what is happening in our bodies, in this physical vessel, right? And it's very easy in our culture to spend a lot of time between your ears. I know I do. This is like my biggest nemesis. It's hilarious that one of my greatest gifts sits between here and also my biggest nemesis. Do I have overthinkers out there? Am I speaking to your heart? This is mine. So many of us spend so much time between our ears, and also, and I said this in the last video that I shared with you, was we dismiss our needs a lot. So let's say I use this example of I'm in a big meeting and I have to use the bathroom, and I hold it and I hold it and I hold it because I'm like, there's only 15 minutes left of this. So-and-so for sure will notice if I get up and leave the room, or I just don't want to disrupt anyone, right? So we sit and wait. Or you're starving and you are running errands and like it would just be too much to stop, pause, and grab a bite to eat or have a snack, or right? Welcome to our world, correct? I mean, you can feel that in your bones, I'm hoping. And all I'm trying to point out is for all the moments that we squash our actual physical expression, then it's harder to stay in touch with it. It's almost like we go dormant. We don't, but it's a great analogy. It's like the bear that goes into hibernation. Your internal awareness and intuition sort of goes to sleep because it's like, well, you're not using me much since you dismiss me all the time. I got this. I'm just going to hibernate. Okay, we don't want that, right? So what I really want you to think about is your body is a tool. What happens in it is talking to you all the time. Here's ways that it speaks to you. Your breath can shift, okay? You might feel a tightening or constriction in your belly. Lots of physical things go on. Tightening of the shoulders, right? I used to laugh that I had no neck because I swear to God, I was in a perpetual state of this. It's super cute. This is super cute. Right, we've all been there. We find that we carry sort of this dis-ease in different ways in our bodies, but also we do carry greatness. I want you to be very clear that we're not just going to talk about the negative, but we can be expansive, meaning we can feel like, oh, like a space opened up, or, oh, I feel clarity, or lighter. Those are just as available to us as the ones that tell us that there's a constriction or something that doesn't feel good to us. But we're going to have to reawaken it a bit, okay? Because there's so many times we've dismissed what we need. Maybe, how many times just, I feel like I'm like baiting you all. How many times have you gone to work sick? How many times have you plowed through, right? Well, this has to be done. So off we go, and we're just diving in, even though our body is literally screaming at us, please, for all that is holy, slow the fuck down, okay? And we're like, nah, we got this. The rebellious spirit that serves us some places does not serve us here. Okay? It's actually revolutionary to go, my body's a compass. My body is a compass. Being embodied is a compass. So here's what's cool about it. Your body will speak to you sometimes before your thoughts or your emotions will. So this is pretty cool that actually, if we practice this with time, what will happen is we'll notice. For example, let's give an example. I'm a big fan of like, let's put our brains around this for a moment. So I start really practicing what it feels like to expand and contract, right? This is a very basic way that I wanted to dive into this concept, because I just think it starts us moving, right? This one notion of expansion and contraction. There's lots of them, and there's lots of body experiences we can notice, but I thought, okay, for like the sake of ease, let's start here. So let's say you get called into your CEO's office. Okay. And you weren't expecting to get called. What's happening in your body right now? Did you hear what I said? You're not expecting to get called, but you did. What's happening in your body? I will tell you, I stopped breathing. I stopped breathing. It's somebody out there listening to this stopped breathing too, and I bet you didn't even notice. Because I used the word expect. I didn't expect it. Uh-oh. Okay. Now listen, I might not have done a single thing wrong, but still the unexpectedness of it, I'd be like, oh, what's that mean, right? It's the curiousness. It doesn't have to mean it's bad. And I don't want you to equate necessarily these experiences as good or bad as much as they are informing you, right? So I think about it this way. They're informing you. So I don't expect this meeting. What's the energy show up? Listen, you might have been like, oh, this is amazing. You might have felt expansive in that. That's delightful. I hope you did. I went, and my breath went, okay. So, and then I get into the meeting and I sit down in the chair across from my CEO, and I notice that her face looks kind of blank, maybe a little stern. What just happened in your body? What just happened in your body? Did you feel expansive? Did you feel light and clear? Or did you go, did your belly tighten? Did your gut tighten? Is your posture moving? Okay. Did your shoulders get tighter? Right? Or were you like, oh no, how's Belle? She's fine. Maybe you were. Bless you. And then she looks at you and says, you know, I just have to tell you, this is a little personal and it's a little vulnerable. I just wanted to bring you on board that I am, unfortunately, I'm going through a divorce, and I'm letting you know because as my right hand or my left or whatever version of this company that you're holding space for, I do feel like it's really important that you know that I've just got something really personal going on. And I might need to shift some things around, right, as I do this. And I want you to listen to that. What just happened? Someone informed you of something deeply personal and intimate and vulnerable, right? And they're talking about divorce. That might bring something up for you. What happens to your body that way? What happens to your body that she might have just said that there's going to be more responsibility for you? And maybe that is an expansion. Maybe you're like, I can do that. I can show up. I would love to be able to help you. Maybe you constricted a bit. Maybe you contracted because you were like, oh shit, like I got enough on my plate, right? There's no right or wrong here. All you're doing is starting to listen to what is happening inside your body as you're going through a dialogue. And did you witness that? Did you experience that? And then to close up your conversation, she says, and I just want to tell you, I'm really grateful for how you show up here. I see your efforts. I know that you are so passionate about what you do and how you show up here. And I trust you with this wisdom. And I'm hoping we'll keep it between us because it's not something I'm ready to tell everyone. But I just want to let you know I'm so grateful. What happened in your body then? Expansion or contraction? And listen, you know what? Could have been both. You know why? You might have went, what? Hell yeah. right? You also might have gone, oh, but am I worthy of that? Am I worthy of that? You might have felt a contraction, okay? So I want you to just notice, right? This is called the practice of noticing. It's a way to play around with what is happening for us because there is stuff happening all the time, okay? And your body is a brilliant freaking tool. And it's like knocking, it's like, hey girl, hey, would you listen to what I'm trying to tell you, bitch? We're like, no, who needs to pee? Who needs to eat, yo? I got things to do, okay? Your poor body just wants you on board, okay? So I want you to practice noticing as you're having these experiences, these moments in your life, what is actually showing up in your body? Am I feeling excited and joyful and expansive, or am I shutting down and kind of going in and tucking away? What's happening for me? Where's that come from? I want you to start to really develop this deep awareness connected to this tool you're carrying around with you all day, every day, and it's just forgotten because you put it to sleep. You were like, no, I got it. I got it. And you stop listening to this. I got it. You don't got it. You think you got it. This is a great truth teller, my friends. No matter what BS might be happening between this place, this doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie, and your body does not lie to you. It doesn't know how. So it is the great truth teller, and it is a great resource for you. Okay, so I want you to start practicing this as you have experiences in little bits and starts. Start watching. Oh, am I holding my breath? Listen, I had a lesson years ago. I was getting a massage. This was when I'm in grad school. So stressed. Oh my God. It was like the end of my program. Oh my God. And this woman's giving me a massage and she goes, you can breathe. And I was like, oh. This is me on the table, with my face in the donut hole. You know what I'm talking about? My best friend's a massage therapist. I get to call it a donut hole because it's what she calls it. So if she calls it a donut hole, just go along, okay? And my face is in there and I'm like, what do you mean I'm not breathing? I'm like, are you kidding? I was. It was the first time anybody ever brought like this awareness. You're holding your breath. And I was like, oh my God. Sure enough. So I now pay attention. Is my breath hitched? Is it nice and steady? This is the body is so finely tuned that it will show up in all these miraculous ways, friends. And it's about practice. It's about leaning into this and starting to notice. And it is nuanced. So it's going to take time. So if you do this at first and you're like, this shit doesn't work, Jen, listen, it's going to take a minute, okay? Because you've dialed that awareness down so far possibly that it's like this little itsy bitsy ember of a fire. We want that to grow till it's like raging and a full on board, okay? But in the meantime, we might have to start with this little itsy bitsy spark, okay? So let's work with what we've got. But I want you to practice this for me and tell me what you find, okay? So listen, if this was helpful and you're like, listen, I could get on board with what you're teaching here, Jen. I'd like to know more. Listen, I would love for you to head over to my website, laughinglotuswellness.com, and sign up and subscribe for my emails. You're like, oh, Jen, I get 9 million. I know you do. So do I, okay? I'm discerning about my email, I'm not gonna lie. However, my emailers are the people that got the first announcements of all of the things that I host. And they get freebies, they get free mini workshops and meditations. I am sure to kind of come in and really covet and love on my people because that's what I do. So I promise you, it is a space where there is learning and growth. And my hope is that I'm creating a space of expansion for you in that space. So please go over and subscribe to my emails and hang out and share space because I would love to get to kind of know you better, if you will. So for now, friends, sending you so much love and light. Go practice this noticing journey. Listen to the body, the incredible tool you're walking around with all day, every day. You may have just put to sleep lovingly and gently without knowing it, or like a sledgehammer, but here we are, and we're gonna wake her up again, okay? And I just wanna support and hold space for you. Please reach out with any questions, thoughts you might have. But until next time, this is Jen signing off, telling you that I am here to help you harness that supernova within so that you can live in full purposeful alignment and legacy. We will see you next time, my friends.